this summer really kind of sucks. It has not been a good summer. It's been really annoying and frustrating because the things that I typically do, I have certain trips I go on, visit certain people every year, and it just hasn't happened. And it's just really terrible, to be honest. My favorite band is a band called Snarky Puppy, and they have this concert this year in Texas. Because of the uptick in COVID cases, it got canceled. So I'm really frustrated and annoyed about that. We got a nice 1980 Jayco, and it's actually super cool. But after purchasing it, we realized that we didn't have any time in our schedules where we would be able to actually work on it. The whole plan was to fix it up and take it on some trips and maybe flip it or keep it for a few years, but we just do not have time to put into it, unfortunately. So we had to sell it. That was another frustrating thing, that we couldn't do that. So yeah, 2021, it's just not as bountiful as I thought it was going to be. There are three guys sitting at a bar and it's just about to close. The bartender tells the guys, whichever you guys can tell me the manly story, I'll give you free drink. First guy tells his story. Back in my early 20s, I had an encounter with a crocodile. I wrestled him, put him in a chokehold till he fell asleep. Wow, that's a manly story. Okay, what about you? I went on a boat tour in South America and got lost in the woods, and they left me. So for 2 years, I had to fend for myself, fighting off animals, scrounging for food until someone finally found me. My goodness, that is so manly. I don't know if we could top that one. And the third guy lifts up his eyes and tells his story. About 22 years ago, I was climbing Mount Everest. Halfway up the mountain, a pack of wolves get my scent. I was able to fend them off, but they got a hold of my food. And I had nothing else to eat the rest of my climb. The next day, I'm climbing higher. I step on a rock, slip and fall, and I break my leg. But I keep going. Finally, I'm almost to the top, and a grizzly bear catches my eye. He runs towards me, and we fight. He claws at me, I stab at him. I stab and stab and stab. He gets a hold of my arm, my shoulder, and he bites it off. With my good arm, I take my machete, and I just slash him. He's down for the count. I've got one arm left. So I take my sewing needle and I sew my arm back on, piece by piece by piece. At the end of the night, I have to cut him open and use his body for warmth. The next day, I make it to the top of the mountain and I conquer Mount Everest. This guy, there's nothing more manly than that. Here's your free drink. You deserve it. All right! You guys will get it later.